Hello friends, I am Shravana and welcome back to my channel Sparkling Future. We will discuss about Spark architecture today. Before starting with the topic, I request all of you to subscribe to my channel and also please like, share, comment and hit the bell icon for the latest video notifications. Thank you. So this is the image taken from Spark official website. This is the architecture that Spark has. So if you see here, driver program, it is the driver is the one to which is going to control the flow of the program. Okay, and it next one is the executors. This is the one exact computations will be happening. So for communication between these two, we have the cluster manager. This is for mainly used for the resource management. So it can be either Yarn, Mesos or standalone, Kubernetes, Docker or any other container platform we can consider for the cluster manager. Okay, so when we submit a Spark job, okay, let's say client, we call it as client. When client is submitting the Spark job, what exactly will happen here is Spark session or Spark context. I mean, just before this, you imagine one box here like a client. When client submits the program, driver accepts that, and the Spark session or Spark context, anything we can consider based on the Spark version. Okay, so Spark session will be created, and the Spark session, the scope of the Spark session is the Spark application. So once the job is completed, Spark session will be automatically killed and it will not alive after the Spark application. So it will open up the connections to the cluster, which means that it will handshake with the cluster manager and it will say, see, this is the code that I am going to submit and this is the steps that I need to do, and it will send all the details to cluster manager, and cluster manager is the one which is holding the details of these worker nodes. Worker nodes means these are the different computers, because this will be executed in a cluster, right? So this is machine 1, this is machine 2, something like that. So cluster manager will have the details of all the machines which are called the worker nodes, and then the cluster manager will take the configurations from the Spark session or context and it allocates the required memory for running the job in the worker node. Then this Spark session will create a JVM process inside this worker node, which is called as executor. So this is a JVM process which will be created for executing the job in the worker nodes, and the job will be split into smaller tasks by the Spark context or Spark session, and these tasks will run inside these executors. Okay, so when there is a file, let's say you have a RDD of a file like a CSV file is there, you are creating a RDD out of it, then that CSV file will be split across these worker nodes, and each the file will be split based on some records. Let's say one CSV has 10 lines of data, like 10 records. 5 lines will be sent to worker node 1 and 5 lines will be sent to worker node, means it has one partition with 5 lines of code, and the second worker node has one partition with the remaining 5 lines of code. So that is called as partition. Partition means it's a chunk of data, okay, from the main file. Instead of processing the entire file at a time, it will divide them into partitions, and the partitions will be sent to the each worker nodes, and the executor is the executor is the JVM process created for computing the RDD operations that we have got request from the client program. Okay, so if you see a bit deeper into this high level architecture, there are actually two more components called, here you will get it, okay, after the Spark context. Those are DAG scheduler and the task scheduler. So the driver divides the whole program into multiple jobs as per the code base. Like we will say first submit up, then multiply, and then do something, then finally ingest into HBase, something like there will be multiple steps. So each and every job, I mean in a single job we have so many tasks to do, right? So in these are called as each jobs. So each job builds the DAG, which is direct acyclic graph, that we will discuss a bit later. Okay, So these direct acyclic graphs are the ones which will have the step-by-step procedure. The steps. It's like a graph which will have some notes about what exactly the RDD to be created. One RDD might have has some operation, so you will have some sum RDD, main RDD, input RDD. So for each RDD the graph will be created, okay, and for each job this DAG will be built, and then the DAG scheduler divides the DAG graphs into multiple stages, and each stage is internally divided as the tasks, okay, and then these are the tasks here, and the DAG scheduler transfers the task set to the task scheduler, which is responsible for scheduling the tasks on the cluster. So it means that when you submit a program, the driver program will receive that from the client. Spark context or Spark session will be initiated. It will handshake with the cluster managers to know the capacity of the cluster, and based on that the tasks will be distributed across the different machines, and inside each machines we will have various executors to execute the tasks, and each task will be like this, split, and finally once all the results are computed, then the result will be sent either to the cluster manager and also directly to the driver program. So once you receive until all the computations are done from each task, the intermediate results will be stored in this cache. That's why we call this as in-memory computations, and that's why it is faster. It will not come back to the disk. Okay, it will be inside, and once all the tasks are completed, the result will be sent back to the driver program. So you can see here, right, direct link also is present. Then the driver again, it will collate all the results, and then finally the result will be sent to the client. So this is the overall architecture of Spark, and this is how it will work. So just to summarize, right, so this driver program is the Spark application, that whatever you are going to submit, the Spark application, which will create the Spark context, and it will communicate with the cluster manager and get the tasks assigned to the executors. And this cluster manager is responsible for scheduling the entire program, and these worker nodes are the various machines present in the cluster, okay. And we just discussed about DAG scheduler and task scheduler, right? So there it will split the code into jobs, right? So jobs means the work required to compute the RDD. Like each and every RDD computation will be considered as a job. And stage, there are some stages also will be there, which means that the work to be done within a job corresponding to one or more pipelined RDDs is called as stage. Okay. And then this task means a unit of work within the stage. Like in a RDD, RDDs will have chain of operations, right? So that chain of operations will be divided into tasks, and it will be performed as tasks here, single threads, okay. And partition means part of data, chunk of data, okay. It will be distributed across the cluster for parallel processing. And here cache is there, right? This is the one used for storing the caching the RDDs or intermediate results. So for that purpose we use this cache, okay. So this is about the Spark architecture, overall architecture. Hope this is useful to you, friends. Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe to my channel for more interesting learnings. Thank you.